What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So if you've been following along, you may have noticed that the back of my garage has changed a little, and there's a cool story behind it that I think's worth telling. There is quite a bit of equipment back here. How I came to find this equipment, I was on my way home one day. I saw a yard sale sign, and I was in a pretty wealthy neighborhood, and so I thought, hey, what the heck, let's give it a shot and see what's there. So the first thing I see when I roll up is a brand spanking new G-Wagon, and the second thing I see is this yellow workout cage. I walk up and I ask the guy how much for the workout cage, and the first thing he says is $100. It's like, dang, that's a deal. Normally these are like $300. And so we get talking. He notices my Corvette and the 15-inch wheels that were on it, and he likes it a lot. And then randomly he's like, okay, how about $50 for the cage? And I'm like, sold. Let me go grab my truck and come back. But do you possibly have a bench that goes along with it? Like, yeah, I got it, but the dogs ripped it up. And so then it turns out he keeps going, and it turns out he's got more equipment. He's got another cage, he's got another bench, he's got a ton of weights, and he's got a whole bunch of dumbbells. And I wanted them all because I knew I had room for them in the garage. But as we were talking, it turns out that he was also a YouTuber, and he had like something like 15 million views on one of his videos. He also told me about how he had a 1500 horsepower Cummins, and like the dude was just super cool. He said he couldn't use the equipment because he messed up his shoulder and had to get surgery, and so he just was moving and trying to get rid of it. So I very gladly took what he couldn't use. So I ended up paying $200 for all this equipment, and so let's dive in there. And then I'm also gonna give a little tour of the whole garage and everything here. The most noticeable thing is the 5 through 100 dumbbells. Now, if you guys have ever shopped for weights, the normal price for weight is $1 per pound. So just those 2 dumbbells right there make it worth $200. Now, you don't necessarily need these many weights to get a decent workout in. Honestly, you could work with just those, which these I had before I got all these. Just those work fine, and I'm pretty sure I paid about $50 or $60 for those dumbbells. This was the other cage that he said he had. This is an Ethos cage that he got from Dick's, and it turns out that this cage was about $700 for just this cage. And again, it was all inclusive. We got that bar, that bar, that bar, and there was actually a 4th one, but I gave that bar and the yellow cage to my buddy Pat because I don't have room for another cage and I didn't want the other bar. It also came with these plates and plates holder, which again, you've got 2 45s and then 2 more on the bar, 4 25s, 4 35s, a whole bunch of 5s, 2 sets of 10, and a whole bunch of little weights. And I am so stoked. So he told me that the bench had got chewed up by his dogs, which you can tell it definitely has some dog marks there. So we just ended up grabbing a whole bunch of old t-shirts that we were never going to do anything with and draped them across there and threw some duct tape on. And honestly, this works great. I don't need any more cushion than what it's already got. So if you'll notice, I've got kind of a theme going on here. We've got a Spartan shield, Spartan cape, some Spartan helmets on the tops, and some shin guards and arm guards. We actually made these and went to Comic-Con with those. And they were sitting in the closet. I don't know if I would ever use them. And then when I got this home gym, I thought they were perfect for giving it just kind of a little Spartan theme and a little bit of motivation. So I think it's pretty sweet. Back behind these shields, we've got a cool little sword. And there's a Comic-Con sticker to prove that we went to Comic-Con. But yeah, custom made and awesome. Underneath, we've got some jack stands. We've got another sword back there. We've got my tire jack. We've got my pinstriping toolbox, which I might make a video about that later. We got a snowboard, and of course we've got my vision board with a whole bunch of cars that I want to build. We've got old pictures of me that I want to look like again. And of course the family, YouTubers that I want to be like. We got a set of paintball guns for me and the wife. Now this roll of paper back here is actually pretty cool. There's a whole bunch of posters in there that I used to have hanging up in my bedroom as a kid. Probably 90% of them are all cars. So one day when I get my own garage, I'll be able to throw those up, and I'm excited for that day. We got a stereo to jam out some tunes. We got a battery charger that I got from Christmas, and then we got the good old trusty toolbox. I got this whole Craftsman set as a graduation present, so pretty handy dandy setup. We got this super comfy armchair that was supposed to go with our living room set. We don't really have room for it, and so it is a perfect sit and relax chair in between sets. These mirrors I got for $5 at Walmart, and they work perfect. Now this is a fun little area for my son. He's always out here when I'm working out or working on cars. Funny story, this mat is actually the same exact mat that I used to play on as a kid. And my father recently made this for him. We got all the necessities here. We got the Corvettes and the Cadillacs and the NSX and the second gen Camaros and Chevelles and Lamborghinis and McLarens and Bugattis and a full-size Vulcan down here and a mini-size Vulcan right by it. But I'm raising my son right. He is gonna have an excellent collection of Hot Wheels. Back behind here, we got the good old trusty Harbor Freight Jack. These things are so perfect. Oh, dang it. But by far, one of my favorite things about having a home gym like this right now, especially during coronavirus, is that I can sit here and look at my cars. But back behind the cars, we've got his and hers skimboards. We've got a spare tire for Old Blue. Oh yeah, and Old Blue recently hit an awesome milestone. Oh, bam! Oh, I freaking love this truck. That's 200K. Oh, the windshield's still ridiculously cracked. That's not gonna get fixed. We got the spears to the Spartan set. We got a couple of fishing poles because me and the wife love to fish. And then we got the old sign 'em thing at the wedding. One day that'll have a place to go, but for now it's just gonna chill out in the garage. Now there was also this that came with, but it's not in great shape either, and I just haven't even used it. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna trash that thing because I don't have room for it. If you notice, we've got way too many strollers. We've got that stroller, and there's another stroller here. That's too many strollers. Freaking babies. Now, if you guys are wondering, hey Hayden, why the heck isn't the Corvette lifted yet? There's a couple of reasons for that. The biggest one is because the shop that I normally work out of is currently in pieces. My parents have moved from that house into a different one, and so the shop is scattered between two shops, and it's basically everything's under construction, and I'm gonna need access to that shop in order to lift the car. Now the other reason is because coronavirus is hitting, and I don't want my Corvette to be in pieces. Oh hey bud, how's it going? I don't want the money's a little tight. The job situation isn't for sure. I know a lot of people are losing their jobs, or if I break the suspension trying to lift it. Basically, I want this car drivable and usable during this scary time. But thanks so much guys for tuning in. I hope that you guys don't get the coronavirus and that everybody stays happy and healthy. So have a good day. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Thanks so much and have a great day. What even?
It looks like a fat Hot Wheel.
That's
one of those fake Hot Wheels.
That's amazing, and they just cut it, and there's like, wow. That's awesome. Look at that. Look at that craftsmanship. It looks like braces. Man,